All right, what's up, guys? So in this video, we're going to be talking about the strawweight fight between Mackenzie Dern and Hannah Cifers. Let's look at Hannah Cifers really quickly. She's 5'1", 115 pounds, and her record is currently 10 wins and 4 losses. Of those 10 wins, she's managed to pull off half via knockout or technical knockout, and then half via decision. And so the interesting fact here is that none of her wins have actually come from a hold or a submission or anything grappling related, if you will. And so you might be questioning what her background is. Like, does she do jiu-jitsu? Does she grapple? She has a purple belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but at the same time, and we'll get into this later, if she wants to win this fight, in my opinion, she's gonna have to stay on her feet because Mackenzie Dern is different gravy, man. Like, she is currently one of the greatest female jiu-jitsu fighters representing the United States of America. She's won numerous competitions around the world when it came to jiu-jitsu, and it is no doubt that her record of 7-1 is definitely respectable, especially because of those 7 wins, 4 have come from submission. So there's definitely like a little something to consider here. She's extremely dangerous on the ground, as we've seen before, and Hannah Cifers, on the other hand, doesn't seem to be too dangerous when it comes to grappling. Because again, if you want to compare a purple belt jiu-jitsu to a black belt jiu-jitsu, they're two different worlds. I think something, however, that doesn't favor Mackenzie Dern, and this could be something that Hannah Cifers could potentially benefit from, is that yes, Mackenzie Dern has come from 7 straight wins, but her latest fight, she actually lost in October 2019 against Amanda Ribas via decision. So again, when it comes to fighting, because I've been fighting in the UFC for 40 years myself, and as a fighter, when I come from a loss and I have to come back to the ring, there's a psychological warfare going on in my head. It's like, oh, I got people to prove. These guys turned my back on me if I don't win and all that stuff. And, that could definitely, like, if I'm not able to, control my thoughts going into that fight, like, it could potentially be anyone's game. And so that's where I think Mackenzie Dern is right now. But again, these are just thoughts that come to my head that I'm expressing with you guys, so things to consider. But at the same time, Mackenzie Dern she's so like used to competing, not just in a UFC MMA cage, but at the same time like in a global competitive dynamic when it comes to wrestling or jiu-jitsu. Like, she's represented the United States so many times for such a long time. So this whole psychological thing, I don't really think it applies to her. But again, I know you guys are interested in the odds, and when it comes to the odds, guys, like, just consider that I did my research on these fighters like a few days ago, and the odds really, like, they're really volatile. They really change day by day, depending also on the source where you get them from. So these might not be the ones that are 100% right, but based on my research, this is the ones that I found. But again, don't like tie a knot around these numbers, okay? Like, don't just like dive in. It's like, oh, okay, Michael said this, like, do this. Okay, don't just do that. But again, the odds here are that Mackenzie Dern is the absolute favorite at -380, while Hannah Cifers is +300, and this is one of the highest differences that I've seen out of all the research that I've ever done. Mackenzie Dern is extremely the favorite here. And honestly, I think, there's no reason why Mackenzie Dern should not put Hannah Cifers in a choke. Like, I'll be straight up. In a triangle, whatever it is, she's clearly better when it comes to the grappling and the ground game. So as a coach, like, I believe that's what the game plan would be. Get it to the ground as soon as possible. She doesn't have a good background, and she's got a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. We deal with that thing in training every single day. So I think if there's any way that Mackenzie Dern is going to win, she's going to obviously raise her chances of winning by taking it to the ground. If Hannah Cifers wants to win, she's going to have to try and reverse whatever Mackenzie Dern is trying to do. She's going to try to keep it on the feet as much as possible, because if it gets to the ground, could be trouble. And that's it. That's my breakdown. I'm interested to know who you guys think is going to win. Comment down below. I'm interested to see a little, perspective. At the same time, if you like these predictions, make sure to, subscribe to the channel to see more. We're going to be covering Roosevelt Roberts against Brock Weaver, and we're also going to be covering T. Woodley against Gilbert Burns, who's definitely going to be a super good matchup that I'm excited to see. If you're interested in that stuff, subscribe to the channel to see those videos. And if I see you in the next one because you subscribed, then I'll see you in the next one.